awkward moment when you were wearing Nikes and you still couldn't do it. That is more or less my life story. I never won the competitions I participated in, sat, cried about it, and then burst out laughing because it was funny. But what I am about to say ahead is no more of a sob story than the reason behind the chicken crossing the road. Failure has always been more of a friend to me than other actual people. At this point, I believe if I invited it over for tea, it would bring biscuits. Fortunately for me, it always comes with a story. I was in my first grade when I faced my first inter-school competition where I had to recite a poem. The competition was in August or so. We started preparing in early June. At that time, I was like clay, the type with which pots are made. Like a potter with his rawware, they made sure all my postures, the tones, the expressions, everything was perfectly sculpted. In my eyes, by August, I had transformed from dirt to an elegant vase. However, despite these preparations, I did not win the competition, and it made no sense. Maybe the poem I recited was not unique enough? It never really hit me that hard. The fact that all I ever did was lose. It was like a unique talent of mine. Life had its way with me. Every minor competition, usually intra-class, I would win first place. And then naturally, I would yearn for a higher level competition. My wish would be granted, but then life would knock me down and leave me with only a participation certificate. I would always be left with a feeling making me wonder whether it was my ego or the capability of my rivals that was too high. It just did not seem fair. Slowly, with every competition and every failure, I began to accept it as it was. My attitude towards such an opportunity changed. Not as much excitement showed when I reacted to an announcement. The teachers around me tried to convince me to participate, but I felt numb and tired, as though I would never be able to do anything productive in my life again. Honestly, I didn't even play an active role in my life anymore. Things just happened and I was like, oh, is that what we're doing now? Okay. It seemed like my greatest achievement was breaking the record for the most number of days I survived. I turned to electronics, books, and music when humans could not provide me comfort. I would always try to cheer myself up by singing when I felt sad. Most of the times, it turned out that my voice was worse than my problems. I was never really able to win in real life, so I wanted the characters I read about to win. I began writing. I wrote, and I wrote. It always depended on my mood. Sometimes, when I was so disturbed, I even wished that the protagonist would lose something close to them, and I would smile sympathetically when they did. I enjoyed solitude and was soon unwilling to let anyone in. People began to mistake my love for seclusion and peace for arrogance. At a particular point, it is my personal belief that my former school gave up on me. I was hesitant to talk on the topic, but because of a rapid decision, I clicked the huge red button in my mind. Then, what you would call my canon event happened. I joined a new school. I once made a breakthrough. After 2 long years of settling in and adjusting, I won my first inter-house competition. And then, I won another. I was overjoyed. It was euphoric. So, I went ahead and gave another inter-school battle a shot. I got selected. I had to make a news report with 2 minutes of preparation time and a video as reference. We, that is my partner and I, were very well prepared. And then, on the day of the competition, it turned out that our practice was all wrong. The reference we received was nothing like what we had prepared for. So, I ended up a stuttering mess, trying to breathe but failing that too. Whenever I lose, it never really is my fault. Something just goes wrong and it is too late to do anything about it. Looking both sides of the road so that I don't get hit by a car and then end up getting hit by an airplane. I was an inch away from getting depressed, wearing black hoodies, listening to Crash, drinking coffee 10 times a day. Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. The 5 stages of waking up. My family and neighbors started listening to great music, whether they liked it or not. And then it all struck me, that realization, the one where you suspect something in between of worthlessness and black magic. It was going to be okay. What I mean to say is, if I could believe in the tooth fairy for 6 years and Santa Claus for 8, why couldn't I believe in myself, who is perfectly real, for the rest of my life? I can, and so I will. If life has something planned for me, it can go ahead and show me. I am a critic, and rejections, they're my specialty. It's okay to lose, because that allows you to go and ask the winner for a party. After all, you let them win. When life sets a door, open it again. It's a door. That's how they work. I keep trying to joke more, because that comes naturally. I try to think less, because that interferes with being crazy. I try to make the same mistake twice, just to be sure and revise my learning. I try not to care, because that makes it difficult to have fun. So, the next time failure pays me a visit, I will accept it with open arms and hope that it brings me more motivation, enough to one day finally meet his brother. Try again, fail better. Thank you.